And we're moving now to another panelist, Simone Maraschi, Managing Director at Cruisegate Hamburg. Welcome, Simone. And Simone has been in cruise industry for a decade. Well-respected figure in the German cruise community. His extensive background includes working in Italian ferry operator Grandi Navi Veloci. And he also has had roles in the aviation business. And in his presentation, Simone develops into sustainable marine tourism, offering insights into the vision for the European cruise industry. And also want to say that Cruisegate Hamburg won the Destination of the Year award of Sea Trade this year. And Hamburg is making great strides in sustainable cruise development, especially when it comes to onshore power. So from 2025, Hamburg will be one of the first ports in Europe to offer a shore power supply from 100% renewable energy for both cruise ships and container ships at all permanent berths. So let's welcome Simone.
Thank you, Marcus. You basically said it all. I don't have to present anything. So things are happening. I like that statement from the gentleman, and it is indeed reflect what is going on right now in the industry. So my name is Simone Maraschi. I'm the Managing Director of Cruisegate Hamburg. I have the hard challenge to keep you awake after lunch, but I'll do my best. So first of all, congratulations for this event. Last night I attended the gala dinner, and it was very inspiring to see the dedication and commitment on all of these companies working on sustainability. It was beautiful. Thank you for inviting me. Very good. I'd like to start by showing you a picture. So this is the Port of Hamburg last month during the Cruise Days, which is an event that takes place every 2 years in our city. It's about the cruise business. It's about the cruise industry. We have, on a Saturday night when the parade takes place, we have 5 ships on the river, fireworks, and music. So why am I showing you this picture? I mean, it's a really nice picture, but I think it's a great example on how the community, the local people, the stakeholders work together. And this is what I'd like to talk to you today, bringing some examples from Hamburg and focusing on 3 main topics. The usage of onshore power, which I'm glad to hear it's a very interesting topic. Instruments that ports have available to engage in sustainable practices and other type of actions that ports can do to increase their sustainability impact. So let's start with onshore power. Onshore power, well, this is quite of a controversial topic nowadays, especially here in Europe, where ports are aligning with the EU legislation that basically foresees by 2030 for all major European ports to have onshore power available. And also for ship lines and cruise lines, makes it compulsory by 2030. So this process that you were mentioning, Peter, here in Europe has been regulated. By 2030. All TNT ports will have to comply with the regulation. And whether if it's a business case for the ports or not, I'm not going to answer this right now. Maybe we can do that later in the open discussion. But Hamburg has invested very, very soon in onshore power. 2016 was the first onshore power system built in Europe. It was a project that was run together with AIDA Cruises, and this to show how important it is to work together with the cruise lines. And the strategy has been going basically on till in the past years. We are now working on the second onshore power, which will be finished this month. And the third onshore power, which we're building at the new cruise terminals, will be finished by 2025, and then all the container terminals will come. So as Marcos was mentioning during the short presentation, by 2025 we will have all berths for major cruise and containers connected to the grid. When we talk about sustainability, we need to talk about the availability of data. And this point was mentioned also this morning in one of the early panel. Data are very important for ports, and I'm talking about not only the economical impact, which we'll see later, but also in terms of emission, in terms of what ships air control emission of the ship. So I like to point out the usage of the ASI system, environmental ship ingots, which is an environmental impact assessment tool that allow ports to collect data transparently. Basically, it's an interface between ship and ports. Ships provide their dynamic data, which the ASI analyze, and based on the IMO standards, providing a score. And ports can, with this data, either provide incentive to the ship owners or use the data to engage with in the communication with the local community, stakeholders, and politicians. So the ASI, it's a very powerful tool. It's not that known, I have to say, in the port community. It was created 2012 by a group of 6 ports within the IHPH Association, International Harbor and Port Association. And now, as you can see from the map, there are over 61 ports taking place at the at the system, and over almost 7,000 ships which provide their data to the system. And in Amber, we have about 30% of the cruise calls working with the ASI. Again, it's a very powerful system and allows access to data which are crucial for ports in the communication with local stakeholders, politicians, and community. When we talk about data, we need to talk about the economic impact of the cruise business. And this is something that should be very clear for all ports and destination. It is therefore necessary to understand and measure this impact. So this is what we did in Hamburg, not rely on the industry information that we get, but run autonomous studies. Hamburg, the figures that came out in Hamburg were very representative. I mean, we have over 400 million euro economic impact of the business, and this is not only from the ships, but also the shipyards, all the service provider, pre and post programs when tourists come a couple of days before the call or leave after the trip, and almost 5,000 jobs. So also when it comes to engaging with politicians, I often get a question: why are we offering services to cruise ships? Why are we? Well, this is why we do that. It's a very significant business for most ports worldwide. It is important then that ports and destinations run this kind of study and assessment. Community engagements. Yeah, this is a very interesting topic because I think that the acceptance of the cruise industry doesn't come automatically. So ports need to build that and continuously develop that. And these are some of the examples that we're doing in Amber. The first picture is the onshore power system, which is available in Altona. We organize regular visit from politicians, but also residents living in the area. We take them to the port. We show them how the system works. Pictures underneath, it's the construction site of our new terminal, which will be built in 2020, finished in 2025, right in the heart of the city. Imagine that. I mean, imagine building a terminal nowadays in the heart of the city. How many feedbacks from the residents? So we basically took them by hand and showed them the project, showed them what we are doing, showed them that we are building an onshore power system at this berth. A very interesting example on how to present the port, also from a cultural and social aspect. It started during the pandemic. We opened our parking lots in front of the terminal as a drive-in cinema. And it's now a very popular, you can see there's an AIDA ship on the right and the screen. So this is also very useful because it shows the local community that the port is not only a place of logistic and operations, but it can also be a place where social engagement and culture can happen. And then we have visit to the shipyards in Papenburg, which are also very important to show the technology. What is the industry doing? We have a YouTube channel where we provide information to the local community when it comes to issues that, general issues, but also sustainability and economical impact. And then, of course, we are very much in contact with the Senate, with the Parliament of Amber. We have meetings every month where we invite also cruise line. So everything together enables the ports to have a direct contact to the community and also, I mean, at the end, we are not here to convince anyone that cruise is green or not, but I think it's important to bring a different perspective to the topic, and by engaging in such activities, I think there's a high chance to have people reconsidering things and things about cruising in a different way. Well, you know, the road to becoming a sustainable port is challenging, and often we find ourselves in this situation, the dilemma of of chicken and the eggs. I mean, one thing is for sure: ports alone will not be able to achieve this goal. So we need to work very close together with cruise lines. But one thing is certain: both cruise lines and ports are making huge efforts to reduce the environmental impact. But again, I have to emphasize that we need to really work together, communicate with the cruise lines and with the community. And to this regard, I think the role of association as Cruise Europe are crucial. And I would like to show you some of the activities that the Sustainability Committee has been doing. I'm the chairman of the Sustainability Committee, and we have created a series of fact sheets that are supporting the activities of the ports in different areas. The first one was related to the European cruise industry economic impact, then a very technical sheet on onshore power. And recent, we produced a database of the onshore power system available in Europe. It's now became a web interface where cruise lines can automatically interact and find out which ports at which are developing onshore power. And that's an interesting tool because cruise lines are looking at where to deploy their ships that are onshore power ready. Therefore, we will see this more and more used in the future. So for ports that are not a member of any association, I encourage you to engage, and it's an important network also for sharing expertise and finding out more about other ports. I'd like to finish my presentation by showing you this picture, which was also taken during the past cruise days. We had over 250,000 visitors coming to the port, this is showing a sun. I think it's a sunset, but I like to imagine this as a sunrise. You know, where everyone is looking into the sun, looking into the future, optimistic and with a lot of positive. And on the river, of course, there's a cruise sailing. So I leave you with this picture, and I'm very happy to answer any question or engage in a constructive discussion. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Simone. Do we have any questions for? Yes, please.
Hi. Yeah, it's René Jacobsen again. All of you are very focused on the emissions in the port, from fuel and etc. But thank you for a nice presentation. Have you ever considered the emissions from the guests staying at the cruise ship, not only in the port, but while under the whole stay at the cruise ship? Do you measure that?
Well, you know, as a port, I guess you focus on the area where the port is operating. Would be hard and a bit out of scope for us to start measuring what is the total CO2 impact from home, basically. I'm sure cruise lines have done that to have at least data, you know. But in terms of a port, as far as I know, I don't think any ports has never engaged in such a study. But it's an interesting...
Yeah, but I'm a specialist within hotels and events and destinations. That's why I'm here, and climate friendly. documentation, and I really think that there's a good story maybe for you also to take part of, that going on a cruise ship might not be that CO2 heavy compared to staying at home. I think there's some quite interesting narrative you could work with.
There are
If they're not doing it yet.
Sorry, there are datas on other kind of vacations. I mean, comparison between taking a plane, going to Gran Canaria in a 5-star hotels or in a resort, and then hiring a car. So there are this kind of comparison available.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if I understood you correctly. You wanted to understand what is the total impact from home till...
I mean, you will also like to include the engagement of the people, local people, and I think, I mean, when you see a cruise ship, you don't think it's climate friendly, right? You think it's the pollution normally, and it's fun, of course. But I just think from a port side, it could be interesting to go into that discussion if there's a good story. So you should be crisp on that. That's my point. Maybe there's some opportunities there.
But Simone, in a way you are doing that. I mean, you recycle probably the waste that is coming from the cruise ships and so on and so on. So it's partly you're actually doing that already.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's
part of out of scope. But if there's a good story, why not?
No, but that's part of exactly of the operations that belong, to the...
But it also reduces, the CO2 or the waste from there.
That's also what I saw you presented yesterday with the mayor and everything. There was focus on the carbon neutral. This is mainly on the fuel, but what about the rest?
Yeah, I will actually have a presentation where I'm going to touch that. So
cool.
Wait up for a little bit.
Stay tuned.
But thank you for the question.